meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Please remain standing for prayer.
Please bow your head and pray with me, please. Lord and Heavenly Father, we thank you for another great day and being here to serve the people of Bracken County. We ask that you be with all of us as we make the decisions that affect everyone. Be with our servicemen and women at home and abroad, and be with those that can take care of our daily safety and our daily lives throughout Bracken County and our region. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Sandy Roof.
Here.
Craig Miller.
Here.
David Kelch.
Here.
Danny Holleran.
Here.
Debbie Mayfield.
Here.
John Scott. Heather Brumley.
Here.
Kevin Gerald.
Here.
We'll now move on to the approval of the minutes. We have minutes from the public hearing for the county budget, minutes from the public hearing for the county road aid, and of the regular meeting. They all took place on June 24th, 2026. Sorry about that. I'll ask for a motion on the floor to approve.
Motion.
Debbie Mayfield has made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Heather Brumley. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Craig Miller.
Yes.
David Kelch.
Yes.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Kevin Gerald.
Yes.
Judge Teagarden.
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes. Old business. Before we do old business, we have some guests with us this morning. We're going to be recognizing someone and their service to the county this morning. Mr. Larry Smith. This morning, the fiscal court would like to take the opportunity to remember and honor one of Bracken County's outstanding citizens, Larry Smith. Larry, who recently passed away, was dedicated and devoted not only to his family but to our entire community. He served the county for numerous years as a Kentucky Farm Bureau insurance agent, a member and officer in the Brooksville Lions Club. He was an active member of the Brooksville Christian Church, and in addition, Larry was a 27-year member of the Bracken County Industrial Authority. He was always helping to guide the development and the success of our industrial park in our county. Today, the chairman of the Industrial Authority, Judge Earl Bush, is here to present a plaque in Larry's honor to Barbara Smith and Larry's family.
Worked with Larry for many years. We have this plaque we'd like to present, Barbara, to you and the family. Just in memory of Larry, the plaque says, in memory of Larry Smith, in appreciation of his dedication, service, and commitment to the Augusta Brooksville Bracken County Industrial Development Authority from 1999 to 2026. He made a lasting impact on the community and will be remembered for years to come. And we just thank you. Larry was such an important part. Few people could be as dedicated to the community in so many ways, whether it be supporting the sports teams or Lions Club, the church, the Industrial Authority, and that is a commitment. You get on jobs, you like to see things happen like immediately, and it doesn't always happen that way. But Larry was there from the beginning, and he saw it as we did start getting development in the recent years, and things really starting to go. So we appreciate it, appreciate you all. Thank you.
old business, road department update. Stacy Ford.
We got one bush hog, still running, start the second time of mowing, and doing nothing but cleaning trees and brush up. We probably got another week, at least another week, before we get everything done.
Anything for the road supervisor this morning? Animal shelter expansion is tabled. We're still waiting on the state permits. Property licking estate surplus is tabled. New business, we have the resolution and the agreement for our LARP funding that was approved in the General Assembly. And it was for 5 roads at $416,000. I believe the county's match was gonna be 15%. So I'd say that's gonna keep our Bracken County Road Department busy next year. So first, I would like to have a motion on the floor to approve the resolution.
Motion.
Motion by Sandy Roof. Do I have a second?
Second.
Debbie Mayfield. Any discussion or questions? Call for a vote.
David Kelch.
Yes.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Kevin Gerald.
Yes.
Judge Teagarden.
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Craig Miller.
Yes.
Next item is the agreement for the funding. I would ask for a motion on the floor to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Craig Miller. Do I have a second?
Second.
Heather Brumley. Any discussion or questions? Call for a vote.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Kevin Gerald.
Yes.
Judge Teagarden.
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Craig Miller.
Yes.
David Kelch.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is the cruiser purchase, Bracken County Sheriff, and I went ahead and handed out the equipment that you emailed me.
Okay.
So we can discuss those. Want
All
to
right.
discuss those.
I think originally we'd budgeted $57,000 total for a patrol car or a pickup truck. We have one quote from Don Franklin for a new 2025 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 V6 in the amount of $39,999.99. They also quoted a 26 for $43,463. And let me back up. At 2025, I think the original price on that before they discounted it was actually $44,000, but they've discounted it because it is a 2025 model year. We also had a quote from Freedom Chrysler Dodge in the amount of $46,205. That vehicle was a V8. Right now, we're kind of limited to what they do have on their lots unless we want to order a 2027, which I'm sure those prices will be higher than those. And Bachman Chevrolet did not respond to a request to quote a vehicle for us. So it would be my recommendation that we would go with the cheapest of all those, the 2025 at $39,999 to at least save some money there. And again, even though it's a 2025 model year, it's still new with all the same warranty as any other new vehicle, and it does not make a difference to us.
So the sheriff has asked for us to approve Don Franklin's submittal for $39,999.99. And that's the 2025 Ram. So if everyone, well, I'll ask for a motion on the floor to approve.
Do we need to separate the equipment bid, or is that gonna be part of it?
It's separate because it's a different vendor and everything. We usually take those separate.
Sheriff,
It just happened to come in yesterday and I went ahead and made it.
Sheriff, you don't wanna consider the V8?
I don't, one, because of fuel consumption with the V8 is through the roof, and I'll give you an example. My Durango is one of the few V8s we have, and it gets about 12 to 13 miles a gallon, where the V6s are around 18.
Okay. I just didn't know about Pursuit. I would hope it.
Well, the other
be
issue with
minimal.
that is because these are pickup trucks, they are all speed limited around 105 miles an hour anyway. So on these pickup trucks, it doesn't matter whether it's a V6 or a V8, it still will not do more than that mile per hour.
I never would know that.
So, yeah. I don't like to tell people or the public that, but the pickup trucks are speed limited due to the nature of tire ratings and just the nature of the vehicle. So.
I'll go and make the motion that purchases 2025 $39,999.
So David Kelch has made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Craig Miller. Any discussion or questions? Call for a vote.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald, Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
And then we also have the quotation that came in for his equipment for this vehicle. And it looks like it came in at, I believe the total was what, Sheriff?
15,647. So regarding RidgeNet here, they're one of the few equipment outfitters that is available in this state. If we utilize them, we will not actually have to go to Pulaski County to retrieve the vehicle. It'll go directly from the dealer to them, and then we can pick it up when it's completely finished. So that saves us additional time and money because of moving a vehicle around. The other outfitter that I normally would have requested a quote from, who has historically been a little bit more money, has been bought out by a national corporation, so I can only assume that their prices have gone up since that. And another local vendor that just did one for, I want to say local, it's across the river in Ohio. They just did one for Augusta, and that total on that was about $18,000. The pickup truck here is a little bit more than the Durango we had outfitted 2 years ago, but that's because we have to add a $1,500 bed cover to that vehicle to keep our equipment from getting wet. So, again, that's the only quote that I have. If you want me to get additional quotes, I will. But in my opinion, just based on not having to take 3 hours down and 3 hours back to move a vehicle somewhere else with 2 people, the savings there alone is probably going to make up any difference if you could get a cheaper quote.
So we'll ask for a motion on the floor to approve the equipment at $15,647.55.
So move.
Craig Miller, do I have a second?
Second.
Debbie Mayfield. Any questions or discussion? Call for a vote.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the annual report for the Bracken County Animal Shelter. We have our ACOs, Heather Honan and Aaron Childers. You can introduce the lady that came with you if you would like.
This is Addie. She's helping us out for the summer for a few weeks.
Welcome.
So, good morning. You guys have copies of a June report and then the annual report with all the numbers and everything on it. So, one thing that we wanted to point out for sure for like the annual report is the number of dogs that came into care and that were moved through the shelter. I believe there were 342 that came in this past year, which we left the numbers for last year on there, if I can find it now. It's 100 and something. Yeah. So about 190 So there was a significant increase in the numbers of dogs. But one thing that was pretty cool, the number of owner surrenders has gone up a lot, and the number of strays is trending down. So it kind of seems like when you take people's dogs in, they don't dump them around different areas of the county. So that's been really cool. But anyway, I don't know what else you guys want us to.
I got a question.
Yes.
I seen y'all did a pretty good job on your grants, and I seen this morning, I was looking over this, and Department of Agriculture grant, what do you have to, how do they select those? How do you qualify for the Department of Agriculture grant?
Do you want me to speak on
Yeah,
that one?
she'll know more.
Department of Agriculture, they get their funding off the license plates that are sold for spay and neuter. And we always apply every year for the max, which is 3,000 max, 3,000 match. I don't know that we've ever gotten that much. We get 1,100 or 1,200, something like that. I think we've gotten 2,000. But their selection process is, I don't really know what they do, but we have to send in what the vet costs will be ahead of time, and they have to keep it at that cost. And it is, in the past, we've only used it for shelter dogs, for spay and neuter.
So on the paperwork, it does say that counties that require or spay and neuter before the dogs are released for adoption, that those are prioritized over counties that do not. So other than that, I don't know what the criteria is.
Okay.
I will say, I will like to bring one thing up. We budget like $10,000 for grants every year for the animal shelter. This year, they're gonna bring in more grants than what we budgeted, so we're gonna have to make a positive transfer this time to that account. And thank you all for what you're doing. I think one grant alone topped that out of what they've gotten for us this coming fiscal year,
Yeah,
so.
we were just approved for a $10,000 grant from the ASPCA.
Yeah.
So, in addition to the other, we got a spay and neuter grant from Who Will Let the Dogs Out for $3,000. Yeah.
And then we've got Department of Agriculture, that'll be in the fall, I think they'll
Yeah.
award that. Sometimes the money comes in before December, sometimes it'll come in January, so we won't know what we get awarded until then. So that's kind of exciting. Thank you all.
It's nice to see the positive from the ASPCA getting that kind of money, because if you all did not run our shelter the way our government, our state tells us that needs to be run, they wouldn't be giving us money, they'd be fining us. So it's amazing to see that on there. Thank you all.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were pretty excited.
We were so excited.
Yeah. And we get a lot of calls. We're actually having a rescue that we're working with as of yesterday. Her comments were, yes, we would love to work together. We've seen what you guys have done. We follow your Facebook, we da-da-da. So more people are willing to work with us, especially because we do have the dogs vetted beforehand, and, we'll make sure they're healthy before we're sending them out. So it's been nice.
And they appreciate that.
Yeah.
'Cause some of these rescues are donation only. Some of them are not, but some of them are, so.
Yeah, especially the smaller ones ran out of people's houses and stuff. It's costly.
Well, we go to these state meetings and it's a horror story every time they get up to start talking about animal shelters from every county. So when I see all these grants we're getting and how well it's being run, it makes me very proud, so thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. For busting your butts, for fun.
Although it is weird, we got a call yesterday with West Virginia. Somebody in West Virginia found these two dogs in a park and we're told to call us. We're like,
What? Or what? So they're here in out of state. So it's going out of state, so which is awesome, but also, sorry, we can't really do that, but we'll see what we can do to help, Erin's in a group. I wasn't able to get into the group through Facebook, but she's in a group, so we posted in there to see if, and it's through the state of Kentucky, and sometimes other people have contacts out of state, so, which is really nice, so.
And we'll give a shout out to Beacane too for working closely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They've been awesome.
yes,
They have,
They've
thank
been
God.
awesome.
Yes.
for sure.
Does anyone on the court have anything for our ACOs this morning? Thank you all for coming and giving your report.
Thank you.
I need to have a vote to add something to the agenda. I did not carry over our bid awards for rock and fuel. So if I could have a motion on the floor to add those bid awards to the agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Sandy Roof. Can I have a second?
Second.
Kevin Gerald. Call for a vote, please.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Abstain.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes. So, first item we have is our fuel bid, and we got one bid, and that was from Valor, and that's who we used this past year. And you have a copy of the email where they sent in their rates, and, what I gather is whatever the rate is set at in Cincinnati,
On Monday morning,
on Monday mornings, they add 22 cents to that.
same as weekly. There's no absolute set price.
So that was the one and only fuel bid that we received.
Stacy, is that different from last year as far as the weekly changes? Or do they,
It's a little different, not much.
So we would need a motion to accept that
motion?
proposal. Craig Miller has made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Debbie Mayfield. Any further questions or discussion? Call for a vote.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Next item is the bid award for rock. We received one from Hilltop Stone. We received a second one from Jefferson Contracting. Stacy, do you have anything you want to say about those, or everybody has a copy of those as well?
The only real difference, the prices was lower with Hilltop. The only difference was is Jefferson Contracting hauling is 25 cents cheaper than what you go through Dr. Query.
But the price per
But his
ton
rock
on
prices
rock
are a
was
little higher, ain't they? His rock prices are $3 more on a ton.
So I would recommend Hilltop. But we would need a motion on the floor when everybody's had time to look those over and wants to make a motion.
I'll make the motion for Hilltop.
Motion by David Kelch. Do I have a second?
Second.
Heather Brumley. Any discussion or questions? Anything further on that? Call for a vote.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Moving on to approving the financials. First item we have is a training incentive for Danny Holleran, $5,445.28. I will ask for a motion on the floor.
Motion.
Motion by Debbie Mayfield. Do I have a second?
Second.
Heather Brumley. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Abstain.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller.
Yes.
Next item is training incentive for Tina K. Teagarden, $5,445.28. Do I have a motion on the floor?
Motion.
Motion by Heather Brumley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
I'm sorry.
Second.
David Kelch. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Abstain.
Sandy Roof.
General fund, interfund cash transfers. Do I have a motion on the floor?
Motion.
Motion by Heather Brumley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Debbie Mayfield. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof. Craig Miller.
General fund budget transfers. Do I have a motion on the floor?
Motion.
Motion by Danny Holleran. Do I have a second?
Second.
Sandy Roof. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
David Kelch.
Yes.
General fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Heather Brumley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kevin Jarrells. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
Road fund vendor claims.
Motion.
Motion by David Kelch, I think, right?
Yes.
Second by Sandy Roof. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Jail fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion on the floor?
Motion.
Motion by Danny Holleran. Do I have a second?
Second.
Sandy Roof. Is there any discussion? Call for a vote.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Dispatch 911 fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion on the floor?
Motion.
Heather Brumley made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Sandy Roof. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof, David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
I need to add one more item to the agenda and have a vote to add it, and that is to go into executive session for just a few minutes pursuant to KRS 61.8101F to discuss personnel.
Motion.
Motion by Heather Brumley. Who seconded? Sandy Roof. So it's been added to the agenda, so I'll take a motion on the floor to go into executive session.
Motion.
Debbie Mayfield, do I have a second?
Second.
Heather Brumley. Call for a vote.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
So I will ask for a motion on the floor to go out of executive session back in regular.
Motion.
Motion by Danny Holleran. Do I have a second? Second. Debbie Mayfield. Call for a vote.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Just want to highlight some things. You have an email from Buffalo Trace Search and Rescue. They're having a meet and greet on Saturday. They invited the fire departments, EM director, myself, all the magistrates, just to show the equipment and build relationships back with Bracken County. I know EM Director Wick Watts has already been working with them over the phone and talking, and some magistrates have requested some information on past annual maintenance contracts, and I went back as far as our system back in 2018. I did not pull storage boxes. I'm not at that point where I can do that yet because I don't have time. But you have that, and then I was able to speak with some county judges, their EM directors, some of the fire chiefs, and law enforcement. I put down some of the counties that I spoke with, and some of these were actually just researched from information from about a year ago, because I had some magistrates wanting to know radio systems that some other counties were using. One of the things I wanted to let you all know, when I had everyone look at the specs, when I was not here last week, about the branding of radios to be on the bid specs for law enforcement. The problem is, and I wanted to make sure everybody clearly understood this, the AES 256 encryption, it will work on the mobile radios that are in the cruisers for all law enforcement here, city and county, but it will not work on the portables. So we had to include portables. And we're gonna be buying those, I suspect, so I thought we needed to put those in, and I suggested Motorola because that's what they're using right now. And, but that's what happened. So each party was half right. The mobiles are fine, it's the portables that are not able to be keyed for the new encryption. One of the things that I wanted to ask to finalize these bid specs is we need to put a response time for vendors in these bid specs. And the reason we need to do it, it's not for repairing a damaged radio or anything like that. This is actually for a response time if our infrastructure is down at the towers or down at dispatch where people cannot talk to each other. I will say, you know, right now we're very fortunate. We have local vendors. Everything is currently being monitored 24/7 at the towers. Response time is 30 minutes or less. But in December of 2019, this was not included in a contract of any form, and we were left down for a week during December. So we do not want that to happen again. So if you could get with me, you know, what do you all think is a good response time to put in this bid? Because, you know, if you have bidders coming in from, I don't know, Louisville and Ohio, and I don't know where all they'll apply from. I just don't know.
I mean, that's critical. I mean, to
It
not
is
have
very
radio
critical.
service, we need,
Because I can
I
assure
think
you,
there should be a
nobody
limit on
was
the
very
response
happy.
time, because that is very critical. We can't be without radios.
No one was very happy when we were down for that long. Because I don't know that I'll ever forget it. It was my
Talk
first year.
about a
as judge.
safety issue.
So I do need a response time to finish out those bid specs. And you guys can think about that for a few minutes, because I wanted to ask you, would you like for me to email the city law enforcement and ask if they would be willing to swap out the portables? We bought the portables they're using now when we upgrade, they're not gonna be able to use those any longer for law enforcement. Would you want me to even ask in an email if they'd be willing to swap out and we give them the ones that will work and they can give us the ones that don't and we can keep them in case somebody on our county needs them? If something needs repaired and we can just give them a radio that they can use? That's something I wanted to ask what y'all
I
thought
think
about
that's a
that.
great idea because
It's always good to have a
there's
spare.
always something that could come up that you might be able to use that as a backup.
Okay. While we're still thinking about this response time, I'm gonna let you guys know that I've been seeking funding for this encryption for and the portable radios, not through a grant, but I have been in conversations, and I'm gonna keep you all informed. I have put in for some funding, but it's not a grant, and that we may be able to use towards portables for law enforcement. Also, in talking to all of these other judges, I was kind of let in because I was talking to judges and firemen and law enforcement across the state. I was informed that there are some funding opportunities available for law enforcement only for DMR and those next-gen digital Kenwood systems. One of them is the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, law enforcement only. It is not regulated to P25. It doesn't fall under that. We could apply for DMR, but we missed the deadline. It was May 1st, 2026. So that'll be left on a file for next year in case anything comes up where it's needed. The other one that I found through some other counties was DOJ COPS Technology and Equipment Program. It's TEP. This is actually from congressional discretionary funding that is available to be earmarked through the House in D.C. Through submittals to our U.S. reps, our United States congressman and senator. It's not tied to FEMA's P25 rules. Local law agencies can use it. Counties and cities can put in for exactly that. But we've missed that as of now, too. For next year, they could do it for 2027. But that actually requires submitting a request to your congressman and your senator, U.S. level, and they actually earmark. And it does happen because I talked to a judge in Eastern Kentucky that has done that in the past. So it's a lot of hoops to jump through, but it's worth it if you can get the earmark and put in for that funding. So, and I'm not finished. I'll keep looking. I will keep looking for funding. But I do need, I think once I get this response time from you all today, I will be able to tie up these bid specs and get that bidded out. So,
How many handheld radios are we speaking of, Judge?
I'm not sure. I've been told what people want, but I want to get it in writing by email, so I'm gonna send out an email right after court and have them respond. Because I know what we provided during the grant.
Is it only for law enforcement? It doesn't include first responder, fire departments or EMS?
No, it's not fire. It's law enforcement, which would include jailer.
Correct.
And then,
Because that wouldn't include the road departments or anything
No,
like that.
no, no,
It's
no, no.
just law enforcement.
it would be law enforcement and jailer. And then the state has told me that, with the CJIS requirements being met, the EM director, the county judge, and our ACOs, the only thing that they would ever talk and need is law enforcement, and we have radios in their vehicles. They don't even turn those on unless they need them. But they do need to be on that, so Beth and I are gonna meet with Tanisha about getting the CJIS security met for that. So that's about it for that. It would be the jailers and deputies, county judge, EM director, and 2 ACOs outside of law enforcement, city and county.
That would include Augusta and Brooksville as well, right?
Yes. And as far as I know, I think Brooksville had two portables. But I'm not sure about Augusta. I don't remember right offhand.
Bobby, what do you think is reasonable for a response time if there's an emergency downtime or whatever?
I think it's more important that we have the proper entity to fix whatever the problem is. So a reasonable response time, it depends on, for example, RidgeNet or whoever comes out of Louisville, they're going to be 2 or 3 hours away. I don't know, is 4 hours reasonable? I don't know. I wasn't here in 2019 when we went without radio service. My opinion of the previous radio system is we were always without radio service because we were doing everything by phone for the most part anyway. Again, it depends on cost and actual ability to address whatever the problem is. I'm more concerned about that.
But am I wrong in saying that we haven't had that problem with who we are currently with? I mean, it hasn't been down, has it? I don't
No,
recall.
I'm not saying that we do. I'm
Okay.
just saying that
That's
whatever vendor we have, I'm concerned about
And-
actual ability to fix things, actual ability to provide decent pricing or whatever the issue is, because I don't know what the parameters are in this contract. I don't know what parameters were in previous contracts, so I can't say.
We could make it where they have to at least contact us within so many hours. But my main thing is response time for them to be on site looking at these towers or dispatch and seeing why the system is down.
If it's an issue where someone's going to have to climb a tower, it's not going to matter because the two individuals from DKC, to my understanding, they're not going to climb the tower. So you're going to have to still find a tower climber to do that. It just depends on what the circumstances of the issue are.
Well, you gotta think, even if you have a 2-3 hour response time, they've still got to get here, they've got to figure out what happened, and then hopefully they've got whatever necessary to fix the problem at the time. So I don't think anything over 2 hours should, we need to have ASAP so they can address the issue. We can't have it drug out.
But if they're coming from up in Ohio or Louisville, it's gonna be more than 2 hours for them to leave that second and drive. So, I mean, it's up to you all.
2, no more than 3, because my daughter drives 2 hours to Louisville every morning and every evening coming home, and it's 2 hours, so 3 hours would be more than sufficient to get here from Louisville, in my opinion.
So I need a majority of the court on response time.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
How come, after we've had this system for 3+ years, how come all of a sudden everybody's wrong? How come? I mean,
And wrong about what, as far as?
well, I mean, you got our other counties against us now because we got this system that they can't talk back to us on, and we've had it for 3 years, 3+ years. Why right now, everybody's goes, poof, okay, we gotta fix this. Why?
I don't know why it came up April. I mean, I really don't, because we have been using it for a while.
So they've been discussing this all along?
I got my email in April
Yeah, but that's
that
just
they
this
came
year,
and gave
right?
to you all.
Yeah. I mean, we've had this system for, well, I think it was
The first year we were in.
January, our very first fiscal court meeting, or second. And now, all of a sudden, 3+ years later,
The issues were
Something's
always,
wrong.
the issues were always there. For our purposes, we were were just excited and happy to have a radio system that we could actually communicate on and talk with. So all those other ancillary problems have always existed. We've just dealt with them in different ways. Now it's become a problem with another entity who addressed this issue. And we, again, the issue was always there. Now they have a problem with it because at some point, well, quite honestly, with the crash that we had a couple of weeks ago now, there was an issue with communication with that because we cannot communicate with mutual aid with our partners in Maysville. So that was a problem with EMS and law enforcement because we cannot talk to each other except via this phone or through dispatch. So it's come up before. We've just dealt with it in other matters. Now, some of the issues, legally speaking, with the CJIS stuff, that probably always was an issue also, but legally speaking, it's become a problem now because it's been identified that there's a deficiency there. So.
I don't understand much about radios, but I wish we could have somebody explain to us what would be the most economical way to fix this problem. Is it our county's problem, or is it our adjoining county's problem?
All I know, Danny, is there were grants applied for, grants awarded, radios ordered, before I ever got an email asking what our system required. I do know that.
Not in our county. It's
Not-
an adjoining county.
Adjoining county, yeah.
I understood, yeah.
You know, the whys and the whats and the mission behind it all, I really don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just know that that happened. I know, when I immediately started working with Lewis County, I told them that, you know, when this was approved by our 911 advisory board, they approved it to send to us for recommendation to look at this system for purchase. Well, Bobby, I think you were the chairman of the 911 advisory board then. And we took a look at it. It had been tested for like 4 months. In the minutes of everything, it said that we were gonna bring them on analog as mutual aid on the Bluegrass Tower. We left the analog on there. They were gonna digitize it. And they don't wanna do that. They said if it's not good enough for our people, it's not good enough for theirs. But Maysville EMS and Fire is on on analog in Mason County 100%. And I think they're going with Lewis County EMS on an analog channel as well.
And are we able to do that?
It would have been that 62,000.
Okay. And there's not currently something in place already here in Bracken County that works with what they have or what they are getting? We would have to purchase something in order to be compliant with what they're doing?
For the analog or lifting the RAS key security key off our system. I think these radios, I've never tested them. I haven't talked to anybody that's tried it on the counties I contacted. But if they're saying, you know, I think he stood up here and said if they lift the RAS key, they can use those Kenwood radios that just came out in the last 12 months. The only thing that I do know is the one that was tested in front of me. Anything outside of that, I don't have the knowledge, except for what people tell me.
But Bracken
Just like
County,
you all.
Bracken County would have to spend some money to be able to work more efficiently with Maysville's
Yes.
EMS and fire.
Yes. Even lifting the RAS key is gonna cost money, because we have to take it off the entire system.
Correct.
We have to take it out of the dispatch radios. I mean, we gotta take it
That
out
was
of.
the $20,000 option, correct?
In my opinion with that, that's an exaggerated cost. that's a programming issue. So what does it truly cost to reprogram a radio?
You're not reprogramming a radio, you're removing something from an entire system,
You're-
including the towers.
It's plugging a cord into something and taking a computer and moving it. It's a programming issue, so it's not that big of an issue.
So you do know more about radios
Well,
than you're letting on.
I don't know
Well, I mean, I'm
tons
just
of information.
asking.
I'm just telling you that I think that's an exaggerated cost associated with removing a code or a key from an electronic device.
So do you think it's an exaggerated cost for the key that's gonna turn the mobiles for the AES 256 as well?
No, because the radios that we currently have are not capable of that 256-bit encryption. In reality with that, you should be able to buy a radio that is capable of that encryption and have them programmed. As to what that programming cost is, typically speaking, with most radio vendors, if you have a contract with them, reprogramming your radios, or typically included with that. Every other agency that I've ever worked for, every year, every 2 years, they would reflash or program our radios to ensure that they're properly programmed with all the correct channels. And that was just part of the deal with the vendor, whoever they had went with, be it Motorola or Harris or Tate or whatever communication company it is. I'll be curious to see what other vendors have to say. I know that RidgeNet specifically, they deal with radios, DMR, and P25. I had a brief conversation with a gentleman down there about what other agencies utilize down there. So they have a varying amount of DMR P25 radios that are able to communicate with one another in Pulaski County. Of course, some of them are using Kenwood because of the necessity for that to be able to talk on both sides of P25 or DMR because the Motorola radios are not capable of it. But they don't have a RAS key, and according to the gentleman that I spoke with, the RAS key and some of these vendor contracts are ways for vendors to keep county governments or whoever businesses locked into these situations where they're the only provider that they can use. And I think that that's where we're at.
Good to know.
Out of 31 other counties, from what I'm seeing on this, there's 31 counties that we've got here, and out of 31, 8 have no analog. But, so there's quite a few on here that have P25 and still have analog.
So our issue with analog here is we only have one analog repeater. We used to have 4. When we went to this new system, 3 of those were removed. They utilized the analog repeater here to set off fire pagers and whatnot. The problem with having one analog repeater is it is not necessarily capable of communicating countywide, depending on where you're at, which is why we previously had 4 analog repeaters, 1 in Foster, Milford, blah, 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 to be able to switch channels, which back then we had to manually change channels, but now those repeaters do not exist. So if I go to Foster, there's a high probability that I cannot communicate with this Brooksville analog repeater.
But when we had the 4, before these radios, you still, like in certain spots, wouldn't have service, right?
Correct. Now, that's because you're getting into VHF frequencies that they went to narrow banding, which I don't know what that means. I just know it reduced our ability to communicate when that happened. We dealt with issues, and that's why you've seen these issues with Peterson Radio, BNC, RCS, and all these people that had come in here and tried to fix this system. And we did everything from replace repeaters to reprogram repeaters, to put up new antennas, new coax, and all of these things that we did and spent a considerable amount of money that never really fixed anything. So I think at some point it made it worse. So I never could understand why they could not make this VHF system work to at least some degree. I get the terrain in this community, but I'll use Louisville, Jefferson County. 30 years ago, when I worked for the Jefferson County Police Department, they were on VHF system. You could talk all over the county, just like we talk on these DMR, crystal clear, on a VHF radio. Of course, that's all scannable and blah, blah, blah. But Louisville, Jefferson County may still be on those frequencies still to this day. The county was on or VHF, the city was on UHF. I don't know that they've ever put a new system in Louisville, Jefferson County.
It's P25 now.
Right, it is a P25 system, but I don't know whether they ever replaced it. I know their replacement cost at one time was gonna be $32 million to replace that whole system up there. But they were still able to patch that system where UHF city frequencies were able to communicate with county VHF frequencies and keep that police department communicating and operating like they should. Again, I'm not a radio guy. I just,
You're doing pretty good if you ask
On
me.
this, on this report, we've got Louisville Metro, they have, the law, fire, and EMS have the P25 with talk around groups. But for the EMS and hospital, they have DMR for private contacted EMS and hospital.
They privately contract some of their
Yes,
EMS
they
services.
privately contract theirs.
yeah, because they're running AMR or somebody ambulance service-wise for that. DMR is not that it doesn't work or not that it's not capable of being used for what we do. It is not specifically a public safety system. But there are a whole lot of agencies in the state that are utilizing it because of the cost. Because it's way more cost-effective and it works. It is able to communicate with P25 under the right parameters, either via patches, utilizing a dual band radio such as the Kenwood that can talk in and out of. But that radio is not capable of talking into the system unless we remove that RAS key. And that's a question for you all. We the county, we are the arbiters of that RAS key. We get to say whether we're gonna use it or not the vendor. It's ours, not theirs. They work for us, we don't work for them.
I think we actually voted to put the RAS key on.
I understand that.
I don't
We
think
can-
they did it on
we-
their own.
I'm not saying they did. We can vote to remove it also. So, that's a question for you guys, but that's also a question for a radio vendor, like he said, that understands the system and can give us information about what they think we should actually do. And that's where I'm at. I'd like to get someone who's 100% independent just to come in here, look at it, and tell us, this is what you need to do to make it work this way.
And
If
that's
you
what
don't want to
these
do
other
that,
quotes
then you're
are.
gonna be stuck utilizing this. Again, there may be somebody that's not interested in bidding on the contract that we can have come look at it, but, or someone who's just a radio person, that's not a vendor, that just knows more about this stuff than the average cop or fireman.
If we're moving forward with the bid, I need a response time.
Is there consultants that, out there that we can contact to, take a look at our system and give us some advice before we move forward? I mean, is there people out there like that?
I would imagine that any radio contractor would be able to look at it and tell us what they think we need.
So you've already voted to put the bid out, so you're probably gonna have to retract that motion if you're gonna go that route.
So are we voting on response time? What are we doing?
I asked for a response time. The sheriff has brought up consultants, and David Couch brought up consultants, and the sheriff brought up having somebody look at it. So I guess there's options being thrown on the floor. I'm just trying to finish bid specs, but geez, if we're not bidding it out, I don't want to continue working on that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work on my part.
Well, if they were bidding on something, shouldn't they come here and look at what they're bidding on? Wouldn't that be a part of it? Plus give it a response time? I mean, can't that all be what we're talking about?
But we have to put what we expect of them in the specs. Yeah, as a response time.
I think a 3-hour response time is plenty of time. My opinion.
So does the majority of the court, I mean, we voted on bidding this out 2 meetings ago, and I've been working on specs. Is that what we're doing? Is anybody changing any of that? Okay. Anybody? Okay. Is there anything else that needs to come before the court this morning?
Yeah, Judge. I've got two things. One, I've had a lot of complaints about 4 roads in my district that is just trashed up from, people's places. What can we do about that? I mean, because this is brought to us all the time, and the people that bring it to us has got some really nice places. I mean, after so long, we need to really look into something there.
We're still on the radios.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the first part.
Yeah, I've had some people bring some
Complaints
stuff to me.
on-
Complaints on their neighbors, how trashy it is.
Did you turn them into Greg Wood, our solid waste coordinator?
Well, one of them's went all the way through everybody. I mean, he's come to me twice, and he's went through everybody. And then Delaney Road, it's a trashed up there in the front. I mean,
I would need like names and addresses if he's already, because it could be in a process with Beth or anything. So we have a process we have to go through by ordinance. Do you have a name, address for all these locations?
yeah, I've got the name and addresses. I mean, I can
Okay.
get them to you.
Okay, that'd be great.
And
I'll
then
check
another
into it.
thing, we spoke with the sheriff a couple months ago about a rotation on the towing. Where we stand on that? I mean, do we need to bring that back and put it on the agenda, or?
I need to finish a draft and get it out to everybody. That one's on me. I will get that wrapped up and brought to the court.
Ordinance for a rotation for towing. Anything else to come before the court this morning?
Since you brought up nuisance, I would just mention, it'd be nice if everybody talk around, we still don't have a full committee. We don't have a full board for that ordinance, so technically, it's hard to enforce when you can't utilize a board if someone's gonna request it.
We have one, and then we did have a resignation from the Bracken County Ethics Board as well. So we're looking for one member to serve on it too, and having a hard time finding one, so. Anything else to come before the court this morning?
I mentioned District 6 a couple meetings ago about meeting with us. They always meet with us once a year.
They are behind, and I think it's because of maybe some changes on the funding from legislation, so they're trying to get their stuff together and then they'll come.
Have you heard anything about the moving speed limit sign?
I haven't heard. I'm gonna email Mr. Reynolds again, because he's the one that actually called me about it, and I submitted it to District 6, but I'll reach out to Mr. Reynolds again.
Still seeing golf carts and people walking along number 8, so semis flying down through there 55, 60 mile an hour, so it's definitely a hazard.
So, I'm still back on I thought we were still on the radios. Did we come to so we're
bidding it out.
We're bidding it out with,
3-hour
a
response
3
time.
hours, just making sure we're all on the same page.
Anything else to come before the court? I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Ever Brumley, do I have a second?
Second.
Danny Holleran. Call for a vote, please.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Judge Teagarden,
Yes.
Sandy Ruff.
Yes.